you think of the African woman, what comes to mind? Often we think about a woman who takes care of the home, a woman who has the kids, the woman who's supposed to get the family together, get housework done, take care of relatives, make sure that those who are sick get well. Unfortunately, this woman who carries out these very critical tasks has a story, a gruesome story often in life, which is full of tears. And you just wonder why. Why is society so hard for her, the African woman? Welcome to the Summon, the African Summon, where we connect you to Africa and African culture. Today, I have Mama Tilder Kumichii with me, and she is president of Gender Empowerment and Development Organization. This is an organization based in Africa and is committed to addressing gender and human rights issues that are encountered, especially by the woman. And I urge you, invite your friends, neighbors, and loved ones, and join us for this great conversation. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share. Welcome, Mama.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure, and it's always been when I have an opportunity to share with my sisters and brothers out there about some of the things that we do, and also to see I can put back something to the world by impacting on people.
Mama, we're going to start from where you come from. Tell us a little bit about where you come from in Africa and what's so fascinating about your people.
Yeah, I come from Cameroon, and specifically from the Northwest region and from the Com Kingdom. I come from Com. Com is located in the Boyo division of the Northwest region, and it is a community of people. In fact, it is one of the largest community in the Northwest region, and it has just one paramount leader, and the current paramount founder of Com is Von Clemens, that just recently came after Von Vincent you went home, and we are very happy to have him. Com people are particular people. We are particular about our traditional beliefs and practices. And we have beautiful traditional beliefs and practices. For example, the Com regalia. In the Northwest, they talk of marking. Com has its own unique marking. When you see the Com marking, you know this is Com. We have what we call that means there's one particular way that we do our dressing, and it is done mixed with white and yellow straps. Also, we have what we call ngums on dresses. We have what we call on dresses. And this is uniquely for Com. We also have the doma. The doma is a very specific royal cloth that is particularly worn by people who have titles who have been given by the palace. And then when we come to our traditional marriages in Com, it's also a unique opportunity to enjoy the Com people, because we believe that marriage is an exchange, where the bridegroom's family comes in with what they have, and the bride's family also offers what they have. So the bride's family, I will talk like a woman, we always offer corn flour, we offer corn, we offer egusi, we offer anything, we offer camwood, things that are beautiful, things that make the woman beautiful. And we require the man, the groom's family, to bring us bangles, to bring us jewelry, to bring us fabric, beautiful fabric. And on the day of the wedding itself, they try as much as possible to make the woman beautiful for the family of the husband and also for herself. In fact, when there is a traditional wedding, the bride's family is so buried into making the bride very beautiful. That is why we use the camwood. It is put on her, and then she comes out with lots of jewelries, and it's a beautiful sight. That is the day that the woman is taken to the husband. Whether there is a white wedding or not, that is the day we hand over the wife to the husband. And then when you come to food, Com people have lots of food stuff. We have abai and basic food. That's the most common one, with kata, which has gone throughout the world. Many people talk about kata. They don't even know what it means, kata. Kata just means taking the chicken and cutting it into bits and pieces and preparing it in such a way. The Com man prepares theirs only with oil, salt, and it's so beautiful. Sometimes you can put a bit of pepper. And then we have bitter leaf that is typically Com, and we who are related to the palace, who have a bit of royalty in us, that is our own kind of soup, bitter leaf soup. and we have our way of preparing it. Com has a variety of foodstuff. And also, we are a people who have a lot of respect. Com is a matrilineal system, but it's so beautiful because Com man gives a lot of respect to women, even though sometimes you will see people who are not ready to give that respect as per the culture. But the culture of Com highlights the woman. Where our palace is today, a woman brought us home when the brother who was a fun died, brought the Com people to where they are today. And when she came and delivered her son, the son was still a baby, so she ruled for some time. That means that Com has a lot of respect for women, and they give that respect to the woman. Yes, that is Com.
Mama, we already can sense where your passion and love for women comes from. So you're president of Gender Empowerment and Development Organization. Tell us what inspired you to get into this work and exactly what your organization does. Is it based in Cameroon, all over Africa? What are you doing to change the situation of the woman through this NGO?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, a little bit of historic about gender empowerment and development. I am not just the CEO, I'm also one of the founders, the main founder of Gender Empowerment and Development. And I founded Gender Empowerment and Development some years back, as early as 2000, because, in fact, it started in my mindset in the year 1996, because I discovered that I studied, but I could not have a job. Wherever I went, I was asked for 3 years experience. There is no university for experience. There is no place where people go learn experience except in the job. So how do I get this experience when I don't have a job? And so it dawned on me that I should create an environment where young girls like me or boys could pass through and gain this experience. That is what gave the idea of coming up with Gender Empowerment and Development. And so in 2002, we started off fully. We registered it as a common initiative group, and then we started working. We carried out projects like the Family Role Model Program. And, you know, before I get to that, Gender Empowerment and Development works on gender and human rights. And we are working on gender because we want to tell the world that God created the world so beautiful. He created man. After 6 days, he watched at all his creation and discovered that man was not happy, masculine. Then he realized that he did not complete the creation of humanity. So he created woman. So for us in Gender Empowerment and Development, we describe a woman. If you ask us who is a woman, we say a woman is the perfect completion of creation, beautifully and wonderfully created by God in his image and endowed with so much qualities, so much resilience, so much virtues. That is how we describe a woman. And then in Gender Empowerment and Development, we want the world to be equitable. We want people to live a life that is beautiful. We are not propagating for a world upside down, but for an equitable world where people enjoy gender equality. And to us, gender equality is simple. We want people to have equal opportunities. And gender equity for us, we want fairness in everything that is done.
You know, I just like the word you chose, equity. Very often it's misconstrued as the whole gender fight is about making women equal to men. But just looking at a woman and looking at a man, just have two of them stand in front of you and there's everything to tell you that they are not the same. So you can say we are equal. We are all made beautifully, like you say, to perform different roles. The problem is that the woman's role has historically been regarded as a subservient role. When she cooks, or when she nurtures, when she takes care of the home, when she's doing all these things, the world perceives them as unpaid tasks that are not that significant and important, cannot take you anywhere. But when a man goes and brings money, he's more important. But the issues that the world is facing right now show us just how great the woman's job is. And
in gender empowerment and development, we are trying to make the world to understand that everybody is a breadwinner in the home. Even the children, if they don't clean up the house, if they don't take care of the chores at home, you will not come back from work with all the money that you have worked as a breadwinner and live in a dirty house. If the woman does not cook the food, clean, do laundry, do other things, you will not come back with that money and sit in a dirty place.
You come back and work, and then it will become
to wear. Yes. So for us in gender empowerment, we reiterate the fact that everyone in the family is a breadwinner, and everyone breadwins in their own way. And when everyone breadwins in their own way, we put this together, we have what is called family, which is the smallest unit of the society. So if it is not peaceful in there, it cannot be peaceful out here. Now, there are two types of job the society has in their mindset: the productive work and the reproductive work. Productive work is work and pay. That is why you will see men who wear long caps, go into hotels, cook, make up beds, clean hotel rooms, but when they are back at home, they cannot cook, they cannot clean their rooms, they cannot make up their bed. It's because they think that out there they work and they are paid. And in the home, it's for the beauty of the home, it is for sustaining the home. And so most women do reproductive work. And reproductive work is about well-being. And people think that this work is not valuable. But
because
we are telling people that just go to the Western world and see how much they pay for nannies, how much they pay for house girls, house boys, how much they pay for cooks. If we were to valorize what women do and put it in terms of money, we'll see that they are contributing so much to the home. In fact, women, there are times that we say women work and even work overtime because when they get into a bedroom, they still have to work to please their husbands.
So and amen to that.
Yes, God created them so different. So gender empowerment and development is trying to tell the African people that we want to create an African mindset that sees every human being as equal. Not equal because I want to be a man, because in my next life, if there was, I would like to be a woman. I am so proudly woman and happy being so. Therefore, we are not trying to get men become women or women become men. We are trying to make an equitable world. So we want people to understand that everybody in the house, in the family, is a breadwinner, and they breadwin in their own way and in their own right, and should be respected for doing that. So the father of the home should not think that because I go work out there and bring back money. If you were bringing back that money and paying a house girl, if you were paying, let me be abstract a bit. If you were paying somebody to be a surrogate for you, to bring forth children, how much would you pay? If you were paying a house boy, if you were paying a cook, if you were paying a security guard, but a woman does all of this. A woman brings forth children. She is the security guard of the home. She is the cook. She is the laundry person. She is the nanny. She does everything. Meaning that money you should have paid for that stays back in your pocket. That is what her own contribution to the running of the house. And that is her own breadwinning strategy. So we need to understand these things and then make the world a beautiful place to live in, as we are all made in the image of God.
As you travel Africa with this work you do, what are some of the issues? How can you narrow down the issue that you would call the problem of the African woman? What are the challenges she's facing?
Wow. Thank you for that question. By the way, gender empowerment and development is only located in Cameroon, but I have been working like a consultant across Africa and also parts of the world. Let me say this, and I say it with my head high. The African woman's problem is the same everywhere. If we want to talk all about Africa, but I want to highlight also that the woman's problem is the same all over the world. It may just change a bit. It may just change. Let us not think that only us are suffering. I have gone to other African countries. When I went to Burundi, I felt like I was in Cameroon. I felt like I was in Jew when I went to some places. I saw the people living the same like my people. When I went to Rwanda, it's the same. To Malawi, it's the same. Congo Democratic and Congo Republic is the same. You go to Ivory Coast, is the same. You go to Ghana, is the same. You go to Nigeria, I have gone to these places. When I was in Blantyre, I saw women carrying children, carrying food on their head, going to the farm. That is the same scene. And I think that this is because of the mindset. The African problem is our mindset, which is difficult to change. If we change our mindset and understand the fact that the world is beautiful and everybody in it is the same, we'll be able to relate with women, relate with children, relate with everybody in a beautiful way. We'll be able to relate with every one person in a nice way. And so I think that the problem in Africa is the different African beliefs and practices that we have that has remote control the way we implement the Bible, the way we implement laws. In fact, a man in a court of law, a lawyer or a magistrate, we want to practice that law according to their beliefs and practices of his people, not according to what the law says. Most pastors interpret the Bible in Africa according to what they believe, what they have been socialized. Because what is gender? We are working on gender because gender is the socialization patterns. The way people have been socialized over time makes them believe and hold on to certain things so passionately that they become blinded by those things from seeing reality, from realizing that this life is not just the way we were brought up. So the socialization patterns have made us to think that the world is so stagnant and should just be revolving around what we know. But just break and come out from the box. Break loose a bit and look at the world from another glasses. Put on your gender lenses. You realize that we need to have a world that is beautiful. We need to live with people who accept us, who accept to lose some, win some, meet somewhere. Because if I meet you, for example, my dear, I have to, before we agreed on today, we had to lose some, gain some. So you have to step ahead, I step ahead, and we meet here. If not, we'll never meet. That is how the world is supposed to be. And we have to start this in our families. In Africa, we don't have, one of the biggest problems of the woman in Africa is that we bring up our children in an imaginary manner. We are not inculcating virtues into our children that will help them in future. And I will give you an example.
Please go ahead.
We train our boys to be strong men. Oh, you have to be strong. Don't cry like a woman. Men don't do this. You don't have to be sitting by the kitchen with your mother. And we train our daughters how to become beautiful, respectful wives. A woman does not do this. You have to do that. But we don't, which is perfect. Good. I love that. But we don't train our boys how to love their wives. We train our women, our daughters, how to be submissive, but we don't train them how to sustain love in their families. We don't teach them how to put twigs of love under the fire of love and let love reign. So most marriages in Africa, women are afraid of their husbands. They are not loving them. And then the husbands are remote controlling the wives. They are not loving them. But there is something I would let you know. In a union, the man needs recognition. And this recognition is hidden under the submission that we are supposed to be. But though it has been misinterpreted, because the Bible, that place of the Bible that says that women should be submissive and men should love, just a bit down says that we should be submissive one to another.
Sure.
Meaning that the man should love in submission, the woman should submit in love. So women need security. That is why most women, you can give everything, you can give skyscrapers to women, you can give all your money, but a woman will not feel secured because they need you, the man. And most in the African mindset, I don't think I'm afraid to say that it's not just the African mindset. Most people think that women are out for materials. No, women want you. We need you. We need your person. We need to feel you. We need to feel that you care. How often do these guys call the women just to say, I love you?
Mama, do you have a church? I'm coming.
Sometimes, most of the men, when I say give flowers, I am a counselor. I counsel people. And I say, give flowers to your wife. They'll say, no, that's a white man thing. Flowers must not mean just these flowers. You can have your own kind of flowers in your home. There's some men, let me say this to African women. Most men, let us stop living in an imaginary manner. Let's stop vibrating in an imaginary manner and be real. Most men hardly say, I love you, but they can show you all the love in all ways. Capture that and enjoy it. Instead of saying, I only want him to say, I love you. He will not say it because that's not his way. He was never socialized like that. When they were growing up, their parents never say, I love you, I love you. So what do you do? And then women, to the men, to the African brothers and sons, I am telling you, show love to your wives. Loosen up. Stop thinking that a woman is only good in the bedroom. When you enter the bedroom, you put off the light before you even relate with your wife. No. Play with your wife. Relax around your wife, because you are also just teaching your children how to behave when they grow up. So we need to, I think that submissiveness and loving is something that all of us have to do. If a man is not submissive, he cannot even love the wife. If a woman is not loving, she cannot be submissive. So Jesus gave us a balance. God created the world and balanced it. We are the ones tearing this world apart, my dear. We are tearing it apart. And that is why we are not enjoying the life. Now, coming back to our topic.
The problems of the woman.
Yes.
So fundamentally, you're saying that the way the African woman is raised is the starting place of her problem. That's
the starting point.
That is where it begins. And
yes.
Because it's not checked there in the way the balance in the way she's raised and the balance in which the man is raised,
yes,
that is causing her to grow up and face challenges later in life. So that if we just address the problems in society, then we are actually not addressing what's going on. We need to go back to the origin.
Yes. And let me say something. The men, I always tell people when I'm talking about gender, I tell them that stop accusing the men. The men are not wicked. They are not. They are just victims of circumstances. They are victims of socialization. They were socialized like that. They know that a man should be strong. How can I be trained to be a strong man and you are telling me that I should cry? One of my friends lost the mother and could not cry. He was pained. He would get into the bathroom, open the shower on him, come out and say, look, I'm feeling heat. I told him, you have to cry. Burst out. Cry. You are human. So we socialize the men to be fake. And so I want us to know that the problem of women starts from there. And also another problem of women is us ourselves. We don't valorize ourselves. Women don't give value to who they are. I once carried out a gender analysis in the southwest region of Cameroon, many years back. When we went into the community and asked the people, we asked the women, what do you work? They said, no, we don't work. Really? You don't work in this community? So when you wake up in the morning, what do? You just sit and sleep and eat? No, when we wake up, they said, no, we wake up. What time do you wake up? We wake up at 4 a.m. When we wake up, we prepare children for school. We prepare food for our husband. We take care of the house. We go to the farm. We fetch wood. We come back. We cook. So what is this? Is this not work? That is work. So much work. So another problem. Problem number one, socialization patterns. Problem number two, the valorization of the woman by herself. If you give value to who you are and you stand by it and respect that value, people will valorize you. Me, I take my position. If I get in somewhere, you want to put me in the box of putting women behind, I come in front. I tell you that I'm supposed to sit there because I came here not to just come and follow up what people are saying, but I came here to participate. So we need to valorize ourselves, the women. And then the third thing that constitutes a problem for women in Africa is the male chauvinism. I don't know if that's the right thing. I think it's, in as much as it's the male chauvinism, it also has to do with patriarchy. True. Yes. So patriarchal systems have made our men not to loosen up. And I tell you, those ones that have loosened up, they enjoy their life. They're enjoying their families. They're enjoying their wives. They have a lot to relax to. So patriarchal systems that are so repugnant to natural justice and good conscience is what is troubling us. For some time in Cameroon, for example, I will give this example. The law on adultery was so repugnant because it only said that if my husband reports that he wants a divorce from me because of adultery, he has the right just to report and it works. But if I report my husband that I want divorce because of adultery, I have to prove beyond reasonable limits with pictures of him and one woman in our marital bed. How on earth can the husband bring a woman into the marital bed? And how do I get the pictures? I have to prove with those pictures. And it should be a recurrent issue. That is how the law, thank God we lobbied for many years and the law has been changed. That is what the law said. And I was asking myself, who wrote this law? Men wrote this law to protect men, or how? It's enough for a man to say, look, I suspect my woman is having an adulterous relationship somewhere and they grant divorce. But for them to grant for a woman, the woman must prove beyond. What kind of thing is that? That is patriarchy. The people who developed that law were only thinking of the good that they can put in that law for men, not for women. So I have talked about three issues, key issues. There is the socialization pattern. There is the women themselves who don't valorize themselves. And that it is because we don't valorize ourselves that we tend to make the society to say that a woman is a woman's problem. Because if we give value to ourselves, we'll respect ourselves, we'll push up women, we'll become Aaron's. You know, Aaron in the Bible was supporting Moses when his hand was coming down. We women should be able to celebrate each other. We don't celebrate other women. Rather, when we see a woman rising, we are afraid of the woman. And I get frustrated with us women in this aspect, but not so much, because I think that we are not stupid. It's just because we were socialized to think that a woman should just stay quiet, should just be seen and not heard. So when we see a woman vibrating like some of us, we say that this is a problem to women. We say this woman, people back home, people in Cameroon, sometimes they just look at me as this one, and then you will hear them say, this one of you married, hey, this woman too strong. But I tell you, most men like women like us. It's just that they don't like you for a wife because they're afraid that their power will be taken away. But women who are empowered are the most submissive women that I've seen. Yes, they are very submissive because they know what is right and what is wrong. The only thing is that when you want to suppress them, they'll tell you, hey, stop. So I am telling you, the problems of women in Africa, women are over-labored. Women are over-labored. They have to they till all through in the farms. They are feeding, we call them Mother Africa because they feed Africa. But their work is not valorized. So I'm calling on the African woman. Valorize your work by yourself first. Like a lizard. Say, I am doing it. And then let the world see, because if you don't give value to what you do, how do you expect other people to give value to what you do? So you need to develop the mindset of a woman who knows what she's doing and does it well. Now, commonly in Africa, traditional beliefs and practices, the different practices, because, for example, in Cameroon, we have above 280 tribes, ethnic groups. Each one has its culture, and each culture is violatory to women in one way or the other. So you can imagine the problem of a Cameroonian woman. Imagine that I leave from Koma and I go and marry somebody in Yaoundé, for example. Or I go and marry, or even only in the Northwest, in another tribe, like in Bali, for example. You will see that their practices are different, and the way they violate women are different. And then I will come with my own, thinking that mine is the worst. I will see another one that is worse. Or somebody comes in to come, and then, so the woman's problem, we need to liberate ourselves. For me, if we were talking about solutions, I would say women need to liberate themselves first. That is in the mindset. Come out from that box where they have boxed you from the time you were born.
Just help us to understand what liberating yourself
Okay.
mentally means.
Yes. Oh, that's a beautiful question, because I liberated myself mentally a long time ago, many years back. If not, I would not be here, and I would not be the person I am today, because I had a problem when I was so young and I was faced with so many challenges by becoming a widow at that young age. I would tell you, to liberate yourself mentally, is the first step is for you to accept that this is me. Accept that God created a unique you, and that unique you has lots of potentials. Identify your potentials and use them. Don't allow people to steal your joy by picking up what you have as potentials, exhibiting them while you are here to clap. Because most of us women are imprisoned because we only cheer up others. We are not ready to cheer up ourselves and be liberated. So the first thing is what I do. Let me give an example. I started off by putting what I call mirror on the wall. And this, I learned it from my rural development, social development studies, when I did a Johari window. And a Johari window just simply shows that we have 4 parts. There's a window that I know myself, only me. Nobody knows. There's a window that you and I knows who I am. We see what I am. People see. There is another window that only God knows me. And there is another window that I know myself. I show what people see, and people see what I show. So my best friend is my mirror, because I talk to that person I see in that mirror in the morning. In the afternoon, I get to my room, I talk to that person. At night before I sleep, I talk to that person. And in the morning, what am I saying to that person? I put that mirror and I look into. Then I see somebody who might be like me in there. And I tell the person, as you go out today, impact lives. Be the true version of yourself. Be useful to the society. Stay away from trouble. Be a nice person. I give these positive vibes into that person, and then I go out. At night when I come back, I stand at that mirror and I ask, did you do what you planned to do today? If you did not do it, what happened? How can you better off tomorrow? I've been doing this for many years, and it has keeps giving me a better mindset of myself, and it has helped me even to relate with friends. It's a small course I did that helped me too. Who am I? That was a topic. I did this in Benin some years back. And there I was taught to know that I have an inner being and I have my ego. My inner being is the voice of God, is my inner conscience. And my ego has the freedom, the free will, and the intellect. So with your ego, you can plan a lot of evil and execute and succeed. But at the same time, your inner being says no. So we women, to liberate yourself, know who you are. Many of us don't know who we are. Many couples are married, they're living under one roof, they don't know each other. Try to know your partner, know yourself, know your partner. If you know who you are, you'll be able to know how you can fit into society. You will not get crashed. That's the word. You will know that if I get into the meeting and they're talking about development, I know development, I can contribute. If they're talking about development, I don't know, let me stay quiet and learn. If they're talking about social things, yes, I know I can vibrate very well. Then you give your opinion, and you also listen to other people's opinions so that you can also learn. So if you know yourself, you will be able to develop who you are, and you will develop who you are in a way, holistic manner, because you will be touching on people, you'll be developing and also pulling people along. And then one thing about the African woman that I must say, and this one I'm talking about, the African woman that has been liberated. Most of us African women want to remain on stage. Wow. We don't want to give space to the younger people. So how do we think that we have succeeded to build ourselves, to valorize ourselves, to liberate ourselves? And we are not pulling the younger generation. What legacy are you leaving for Africa if you keep being on stage? I work in my office. I don't use the word staff. I use the word team members. I always tell my team members, I am shifting. I will be working through Zoom so that you people can work. Take decisions. Take the wrong decisions and then we fix them. But I want to tell you, my dear, that most of us don't want to leave the stage. Every occasion, we are the ones to stand and talk. So how do you empower those ones you are trying to build to also become like you if they're not doing it? Therefore, when you liberate yourself, help others to be liberated by empowering them, by taking them along, mentoring the younger generation. Now, when I'm invited to African countries, I send my team members. What I do is that I prepare the presentation for them, empower them to be the ones to present them. Mm-hmm. And then when they are there, I say, wake me up at any time. I'm just a phone call away. Be by your phone. If they challenge you with something, just tell me. I will tell you what to do. And it has been working out. I have so many of the girls that I've empowered that are working with, I think about 8 of them are working with different UN structures. And I never thought of it until during my last birthday, one of them said, do you know what you have done? And I brought out this. That is the beauty. When you are doing it, you are not doing it for somebody to say that, oh, cheer you up. Just do it. And one day people will throw it back at you and you will take the glory. I took the glory on the 20th of March and I was like, wow, really? They said, just stand back, mommy. Stand back and look. You will see how many of us, you have a crowd behind you.
Wow.
So we need to do that as African women. If we want to empower ourselves and change the narrative of Africa, we have to rewrite the narrative by doing it right, even to those of us who are empowered.
Mama, last month in March, the world stopped to celebrate the month of the woman, celebrate the woman. And this year's topic was on the woman in the world of technology. Yes. How ready is the African woman for this world, for the technological world?
Good question. I have always said, and the talk I gave during that March, I talked about the use of the telephone because it's as basic as that. Mm-hmm. And I was asking women, how do you use your telephone? Because on your phone, you have Google. You have everything in there. Are you using it to learn or are you using it to gossip? Because most women use the phone just to gossip, spread lies, forward useless messages that can burn the world, rather than when I sit with my phone, you see me sit like this, I have learned a new word and I'm trying to look up the meaning. Mm-hmm. I have heard something we are discussing somewhere and there is something that I need to quickly refer and learn. Then I will go to my notes and write it there. If I don't have the time to refer now, I'll write there. When I go back and sit home, I am there on my phone. My children are always saying that, now, which kind mommy this? Which kind mommy this who is always on phone? And then I told them that I'm doing my research. You people should stay there and get redundant. Me, I'm progressing. So that theme is a very vital theme for women, if women take it like I do. Because the world is becoming digital. Mm-hmm. The world is changing. The train is moving very fast. And only people who jump into that train and follow the train's speed can flow with the train. Mm-hmm. In the 21st century, if you hear a woman saying that, I don't know how to operate it as common as a phone, then the woman has a problem. And so the theme of this year for me is a very important theme because it is giving the opportunity. The COM people in the US have just given a scholarship to women, for women to, the AFORCOM US has given a scholarship for women for mothers to learn basic computer skills. And I was talking to women, I told them, I said, this is an opportunity, go for it. Go for it, learn those things, because very soon, even to teach your grandchildren, you will use the computer. Mm-hmm. So how can you, when you are not becoming digitalized, when you are not entering that ring of digitalization? And also, digitalization to me is just part of STEM. Yes. And so I think that even if we get old and we think we are redundant, we still have the right to teach our great grandchildren. And so that is for me reason enough to enter that mainstream of digitalization and try to study as least as knowing how to operate your phone, not only picking calls, forwarding messages, calling. And one thing I've discovered in the Western world is that most people, because phone lines are cheap, they gossip a lot on phones. They will call and speak, talk about everything. No, that is useful time spent uselessly. Take that time, get into Google, ask Google, how can I, a woman, how can I liberate myself?
Wow.
Google will tell you so many things and you will learn from there, you will help yourself. That's what me I do. I don't say things I don't do. Celebrating the woman. Every year we celebrate women. And honestly, International Day of the Woman for me is the starting point. And I use that theme throughout the year until the next 8th of March. And I want to encourage women not to think that because most women go out and get violated more on that day because they're saying, today na woman day, na my master the cook, and they sleep for back bed. Whether you sleep where? Why did you even put your bed in such a way that you should have a back bed in your house? Who decreed the back bed? Whether the bed is well, the fact is that you are a woman and your husband is a man. Whoever cooks, or the fact is that people are eating. So for me, I think that this is an opportunity for women to be reflecting on who they are and where they want to go. Reflect on your strategic direction and try to be focused towards your strategic direction. This year, we are talking about digitalization. Every woman should come up with an objective, a specific objective from that global for herself and see how by 8th of March 2024, how far have I gone with digitalization? So that when they bring another theme, even if it is related to this one, you will develop another aspect of it and continue. Then you will be progressive. On my page, Moments with Tilder on Facebook, I once talked about violence on women by women, and I was talking about by you, how you expose yourself to violence. And when it comes to we need to keep talking to women to learn how to valorize themselves. And you can just do it through digitalization.
Yeah. Mama, I want to say that every bit of what you've shared with us has been so rich. If we could even listen just to 15 minutes, we would have grown tremendously. But to get everything you've said, it's been so deep and profound. And I say thank you. This is just not enough time to cover all of this. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like our videos, and share. And until next time. Yes. Amanundo Akono saying thank you for responding to this song.
Thank you, Manu.